Now, let's get to some boxing news, because Lawrence Okolie's first world title fight, when he takes on Krzysztof Glowacki for the vacant WBO Cruiserweight title, is coming up. It's not long until they come head-to-head at the news conference shortly as well. And we can go live now to Andy Scott, who's at Wembley for us. Hi, Andy.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Obviously, boxing news this week has been absolutely flooded by the AJ Fury announcement. What that's done is it's brought a lot of eyes on this Saturday's show. Lawrence Okolie takes on Krzysztof Glowacki. First time fighting for a world title. It should have happened on AJ's undercard in December. Glowacki got COVID. We've had to wait. Lawrence has had to wait, but it's here now. I'd like to say that Eddie Hearn joins us. And Eddie, it's been a busy week for you already with announcements. I'm just wondering how excited you are for your man, Lawrence Okolie, stepping in the ring on Saturday night. His night of destiny, really.
Yeah, and of course, Anthony Joshua and 258 management managed Lawrence Okolie, so AJ be there to try and crown his first world champion on Saturday. And you've always got a soft spot for young fighters that you sign from the pro debut, and that's what happened with Lawrence Okolie. Of course, went to the Olympics in Rio, signed with us, very inexperienced as an amateur, but achieved a lot in a short space of time, and that's exactly how it's gone in the pro game for him. He's become a rapper, an author, and really he's a fighter. But on Saturday, I'm nervous because he steps up to a whole new level. He fights an elite cruiserweight, former world champion. Only 2 defeats to Bradis and Usyk on points. And it's a very, very difficult fight. But Lawrence has this air of confidence about him, and I believe that Britain can crown a new world champion on Saturday, but it's going to be a very tough ask.
We've always sort of quizzed you on your matchmaking because you're the man that takes the risk in terms of, well, in matching your prospects. Lawrence has given you no other option, though, because he's won British, Commonwealth, European, is naturally the next step. But you never really know if someone's ready until they're ready, I suppose.
That's the exciting thing about boxing. I mean, like you said, when Lawrence Okolie turned pro, although he achieved a lot as an amateur, he did it with a very few fights. As a pro, we've had the same problem. He's breezed through all the levels. So British, Commonwealth, European, he's won them with ease. So it's only natural to say, well, he's ready for a world title. The problem is the level that he's been operating at compared to Saturday night are miles apart, and you only really find out under the bright lights. And he had that fight in December in the same arena. There were fans there against Jazuski, but he's going to have to stay composed. I just saw Glowacki outside, super confident. He looks to become a 3-time world champion on Saturday. They look at Okolie and think he's a novice. But my goodness, can he punch? He could put a horse to sleep. And I think Saturday night, Glowacki's going to find out about his power. I just hope that he's got the game plan right with Shane McGuigan. And like I said, he can become a new world champion for Britain on Saturday.
First time we've had a chance to speak to you since the big news broke. You broke it. AJ Fury have signed on the dotted line. In a number of ways, does the hard work start now? Because you've said yourself, 28 days is the time frame to get this site agreed. So yes, it's great they've signed, but does the hard work start now?
Well, I feel like the hard work's taken place.
Harder work.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, it's been a long couple of months of negotiations and backwards and forwards. 2 teams that don't particularly like each other. 2 teams that haven't done a huge amount of business together, but 2 teams that want the fight. And whenever there's that desire from the camps and the fighters, generally you get a deal done. Now, this wasn't about making a big announcement or press release to the world. This was about informing the fans the great news that all parties have signed to move forward with this fight. And that's something that we've always been quite transparent with the fans. I like letting them come on the journey. I'm sick and tired of saying 2 weeks and answering all the questions. Give them the good news. It's tremendous news. Both guys have signed for the undisputed heavyweight world championship. Now, like you say, maybe the tougher job exists of going out and confirming the site and the venue. In my eyes, not really. I love to sell. And when you're selling the biggest product in the world, which is the undisputed heavyweight world championship, not just the biggest fight in boxing, but probably the biggest sporting event of the year, for me, that's not that difficult. Of course, there's many people that would prefer the fight later on in the year once the COVID world evaporates. That's not on the table. What's on the table is 2 fights this year. AJ wants to fight Tyson Fury in June or July, and everybody's signed up to the same fact. So both teams now going out, talking to respective sites. We present that to each other and to the fighters. Let's get it on. AJ will fight him anywhere in the world. He just wants to get his hands on him and become undisputed champion.
Sorry, one more before I let you go. How did the conversation go with AJ? You will have presumably exchanged texts or phone calls. What did he say once he found out that Fury had also signed?
He's just excited. It's something that he's wanted since he turned professional. When he sat down in our office for the first time, the dream was always to become undisputed champion. You know, we were close a couple of years ago to getting that Deontay Wilder fight. Now this is it. This is the time. It's the only fight he wants is Tyson Fury. He's training, eating, sleeping, dreaming about beating Tyson Fury, and he will do it. We've just got to get the venue, get the date, and give you the biggest fight. Forget the biggest fight. Give you the sporting event of the year and see AJ become undisputed. Because mark my words, play this back. He will, and he will win by knockout.
Okay, well, while we're predicting then, before I let you go, Lawrence Okolie, new world champion Saturday, yes or no?
I believe so. I believe in a tough fight. He's going to have to... You know, people are talking about his power. People are talking about he could blow this guy away in 2 or 3 rounds. If he does, he's ready for all the other champions. I think he's going to have to dig deep on Saturday night. You know, a huge history of champions in this division, Glenn McCrory and David Haye and Tony Bellew. This is a chance for him to really make his mark as a true star. And if we can crown another world champion on Saturday, we'll all be over the moon.
Eddie, thank you very much. I just get the feeling that the news is just going to build and build and build. But first things first, let's focus on Lawrence Okolie going for his first world title on Saturday night. You don't want to miss it.